Sparring? You summoned your flying swords, and she swung her sword with full strength. No grudges between you. I don't believe it.
Aha! What brings you here, Lady Fei Xiao? Have you finished your health consultation with the Dragon Lady? Fei Xiao? Grandpa always talks about you. Could it be that you're...
the Merlin's Claw of the Xianzhou Yaoqing?
Looks like I'm quite...
Everyone has heard of the great general. Known to all, and unbeknown to none.
Great General? Isn't that title a bit too narcissistic? I don't like it. Ooh, I heard there's a dozing general on the Luofu, so I came up with a humble nickname for myself. The Lacking General. Lacking in worries, regrets, and rivals. Sounds much better, right?
Yeah, that's a befitting title that sounds both humble and impressive. Now that the sparring session is over, Yanqing and Yunli, shouldn't you politely thank General Fei Xiao for her guidance and bury the hatchet?
Here's your sword. Keep it safe. Or it might get taken away again. By the way, we haven't settled the score yet. I'll defeat you fair and square next time we fight.
This is how she apologizes? Now that I finally got my sword back, I should report to the seat of divine foresight. I'll take my leave, General Fei Xiao. Oh, by the way, Miss Linksha, if you've got some free time, I'd like to invite General Jingyuan. I think there's more to those personal grudges you mentioned earlier.
Thanks for stepping in, General Fei Xiao. Otherwise, I'd have had to knock them out with my incense.
Not at all. Just doing what you asked. How about we call it even as payment for the healer lady's consultation?
Sorry, but even a general needs to pay their bills. We don't do credit here. And let's not forget, you'd have been waiting decades for a chance to see the Dragon Lady if it weren't for me.
Well, you can always send the bill to the seat of divine foresight and say it's for mentoring those kids. After all, it was quite the effort splitting them up. I nearly had to get tough. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to find a spot and get some fresh air. Back already? You've met with Jing Yuan and wandered around for a few hours. So, what do you think?
It appears that the Divine Foresight is using this war dance as a show of strength to convince everyone that the Luofu is prospering after the Ambrosial Arbor crisis.
But... I know you're going to say but, right?
But the influx of people attending the war dance is like a breeding ground for disorder and rumors. One wrong move, and the Luofu could be in a world of chaos.
The Cloud Knights on the streets remain vigilant, so at the very least, General Jing Yuan is aware of this. As for other matters, I'm unable to say.
I'd prefer to be excused from future meetings with General Healer. And now all of a sudden I'm thrust onto the center stage having cordial chats with two generals?
My work doesn't lend itself to being in the limelight either.
Just stop whining. At least you're in one piece, right? Before getting in touch with General Jing Yuan, I wanted to put aside my assumptions and see his momentum. That includes the overall bearing of the Cloud Knights on the street, what people are saying, and how those close to him behave.
The might of an army dwells not within its pawns, but within the force of its collective momentum. Recognizing this fact reveals the true measure of power. Thanks for enlightening me, General.
A perfectly clear statement turned confusing thanks to your translation. You've made me lose where I was now. Anyway, this is how I operate in battle, so you might as well get used to it.
Are you treating General Jingyuan as your enemy?
The longest-serving general of the Xianzhou Luofu. Do you think he'd have only a few enemies?
By the way, General, you met the healer lady, yes? Could you show me the medicine she prescribed you?
Well, the healer lady couldn't do anything about my condition. She just told me to enjoy some tasty food.
So not even the famed healer lady could help? Don't worry. I'll fulfill my promise and find a way to cure you. Actually, I've found some leads.
Well, life and death, Jiao Chou. It's all predetermined. Upon starting my military career, I made a pledge that the rest of my life would be dedicated to being the Xianzhou spearhead, hunting down the abominations of abundance till the end of my days. As long as I can fulfill that deep-seated desire, I don't care how long I live. You asked if I view General Jing Yuan as my enemy. No. My real enemy has always been myself.
Enjoy some tasty food. So, what's for dinner tonight?
Jeez. You really know how to read the room, don't you?
You guys figure it out for yourselves. I'm due to catch up with an old war friend I've not seen for quite a long time.
Hey! Was that the Yaoqing general who just dropped in out of nowhere? Oh, she's so awesome! I mean, when Yun Li swung that massive sword, she just casually blocked her attack with ease.
Mine too.
Yeah. But to go up against Yun Li is quite impressive, you know? That aura of heroism and grace. It almost makes me want to learn Xianzhou swordplay. You think so too, right?
I agree. General Fei Xiao is indeed impressive.
I was talking about Yanqing, actually.
Thanks for the kind words, Miss March. The war dance is coming up, and I've been chosen to represent the Cloud Knights in the ceremony. I've had my fair share of defeats lately, and even though I know there are always more skilled swordmasters out there, seeing General Fei Xiao's skills today has made me feel a bit uneasy again.
Don't underestimate yourself. After all, generals won't fight in the ring during the war dance. Just remember the state of mind you had when you single-handedly took on me and Blade, putting life and death aside. With that mindset, you can prevail against most challengers.
I see. Thanks for the advice, Master Dan Heng. By the way, Now that today's events are over, General Jing Yuan wants to invite all of you to the Seat of Divine Foresight. He has something important to discuss.
I bet it's about how to deal with the generals from the Yaoqing and the Zhuming.
I really don't want to get caught up in grown-up games so soon. I just hope Generals Fei Xiao and Huaiyan can see the truth.
Won't be returned.
Earlier at the Palace of Astral, I introduced these guests from the Astral Express to you, Elder Huaiyan. But with all the people around, we only exchanged pleasantries. Now, I'd like to officially introduce them to you. These three braved great dangers, accompanying me to perilous places, defeating the chief culprit Vantilia, and uncovering the conspiracies of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus. If you wish to know more, please, feel free to ask us.
Well, I skimmed through the reports about the Arbor's rebirth from the Master Diviner Hu Xuan. She's been summoned to the Yu Chui for questioning. There are a lot of doubts within the Alliance about this whole situation. But despite all that, I believe in you. Since you joined the ranks, you have repeatedly achieved remarkable feats. After the High Cloud Quintet each went their separate ways, despite the many criticisms within the Alliance, the Marshal still stood firm against the dissenting voices and entrusted the Luofu to you. Over the years, you've served the Alliance with loyalty and wisdom. You've taken down abominations in Thalassa, rescued the Xianzhou Yu Chui from a siege, and destroyed the demonic planet summoned by the denizens of abundance. I still remember those battles vividly. There are fools who doubt your loyalty. They're happy to see the divine foresight fail because it gives them some kind of sick satisfaction. They haven't achieved anything of their own, so they feed off the failures of others. But I've seen enough failures in my time, and I want to believe that your loyalty has never wavered.
So, General Fei Xiao of the Yaoqing is the only one investigating the Ambrosial Arbor crisis on behalf of the Alliance?
No. I am too.
This old man's words always catch me off guard.
The Marshal ordered me to come to the Xianzhou Luofu, but the document only says, attend the war dance and listen to Fei Xiao's questioning. The Marshal is well aware of Jing Yuan's purpose in holding the ceremony and understands the situation he is facing. She mentioned it because she believes both issues are important.
Thanks for your kindness and sincerity, Elder Huaiyan. But is it appropriate to tell everyone here about the Marshal's orders?
By introducing the Express's witnesses to me alone, aren't you aiming to discern the intentions behind both my actions and Fei Xiao's? And whether there's any discord between us? Well, since I'm being open and honest with you, I encourage you young folk to do the same. As for the Ambrosial Arbor crisis, all I need to do is listen. General Feixiao will be the one asking the questions. To be honest, I'm more concerned about the timely start of the war dance. Oh, by the way, I've prepared a gift for the war dance. Yes, it's this case right here. There will be numerous contests and celebrations during the war dance, and the main event will be the Ringmaster's Challenge. The host will dispatch a skilled warrior to take on challengers from all over the cosmos, showcasing the excellent martial arts of the Xianzhou Luofu. When you mentioned that the Astral Express would be attending the ceremony, I thought the High Elder of the Luofu would be the Ringmaster.
You humor me, Elder Huayan. The healer lady is just a young lady who knows nothing about martial arts. How can I assign her as the ringmaster?
I'm no match to you when it comes to joking.
What's this box for? Why don't you open it, General Huayan?
This sword case is intended for the War Dance's award. It's empty now, but in a few days, a precious sword will be delivered and stored inside. I don't mean to boast about our skills, but this sword represents the pinnacle of the Zhu-Ming's craftsmanship. It has a legendary history, full of heroic tales from foreign lands, tales that are too detailed to be summarized in just a few words. Since the delegation delivering the sword hasn't arrived yet, I'll just leave the case here for now. I've been wondering, who would be worthy of such a sword? And then it hit me. I can award it to the champion of the Ringmaster's Challenge. The ceremony's champion is sure to be a perfect match for the sword. Moreover, I hear that Yanqing is an excellent swordmaster, and that he will be representing the Luofu as the Ringmaster, so it seems like a perfect gift for him.
Thank you for your generosity, Elder Huayan.
If you want to give me a sword, just say the word, Grandpa. No need to beat around the bush.
You've got confidence, my girl, but I don't think you can best Yanqing.
I know you're all about swords, Miss Yunli. It's just a shame that it's the sword that ultimately chooses its rightful master.
Yeah, and even if someone gets their hands on such a precious sword, it'll probably end up in someone else's.
The outcome of our duel at the Alchemy Commission is still up in the air. Since you're interested, why don't you represent the Xianzhou Juming and challenge me in the ring?
That's exactly what I had in mind. Nobody knows who's gonna come out on top. It could be me, it could be someone else. It'll probably be me. But whatever happens, it won't be him.
Not to be rude or anything, we've been watching their drama. I'm dying to find out who beats who.
Quiet down. We have other guests here. I've prepared this sword to add some excitement to the ceremony, not to have you two squabble. It's not a good look for the Alliance. While you both seem confident that you'll win, you need to remember there can only be one winner and one loser in the ring. which could lead to hard feelings. Actually, I have an idea. We don't know who the winner will be, and it might not be either of you. But if you're eyeing that prize, you'll need to work together. I want you to take on an apprentice who will take part in the war dance and win at least one match.
How does that make sense?
In my humble opinion, while a Cloud Knight is commendable by securing victories, it's even more so to pass on your skills and spread the way of swordplay. I'd be greatly pleased if this apprentice could represent the Express in the war dance by displaying their Cloud Knight flair and prowess.
Well, Elder Huayan's idea is quite interesting. Imparting swordplay skills requires teamwork, and both the winner and the loser will learn a valuable lesson regardless of the outcome. The question is, whom should the two of them take as an apprentice?
The outcome of your sword fight, so I thought, why not teach her the art of swordplay?
Oh, wait! Are you serious, General? Why am I being dragged into this all of a sudden? I've never practiced swordplay before. I'm a total newbie. You really think I can learn it? Well, you'll probably realize I have no hope and give up on me. And that'd be so embarrassing.
Your talent is quite unique. Are you also interested in swordplay? But you know, based on my years of judging people, you don't really need to dive into swordplay to boost your skills. And I doubt there's anyone out there who can really show you the way forward. As for Miss March, she's like a piece of jade in the rough, just waiting to be shaped.
I appreciate your kind words, General Huayan. But won't teaching me swordplay be a waste of Yanqing and Yunli's time? They should be preparing for the ceremony. Plus, I heard that each swordmaster has their own special moves. What if they let something slip while teaching me? If everyone knows each other's tactics, won't that make it hard to catch people off guard during the war dance?
That's considerate of you, March 7th. But don't worry. It'll take you at least a decade of hard training before you can even start learning special moves. No need to freak out. A few Juming swordplay tricks will mean you'll be more than equipped.
Really?
Looks like March's curiosity has been piqued.
The whole point is to know each other's moves. Defeating your opponent in just one move? How boring would that be? Plus, what really decides a swordsman's fate isn't some special move. It's the solid fundamentals.
So Miss Yunli has already agreed. What do you say, Yanqing?
General, I haven't graduated yet. How can I be qualified to teach swordplay to others?
So you're admitting your defeat, huh? If you're not even confident to teach, why don't you let me be the ringmaster instead?
Yanqing, teaching an apprentice is also a way of honing your own skills and gaining insights. You've been an apprentice for years. It's about time you looked at swordplay from another perspective.
I see, General. Then count me in.
Now that Yanqing has agreed too, it all comes down to Miss March giving her nod.
It's up to you to make the final decision, March.
At least that way, I won't have to worry about you accidentally shooting me in the butt all the time.
Hey, I've never missed my target. Then I'm on board. Thank you for your kindness, General Huayan.
Great! Starting tomorrow, Yanqing and Yunli will teach you the basics of the Cloud Knight's swordplay. Yunli and I will head out and purchase some sword practice equipment for Miss March, Think of it as a little initiation gift.
You're too kind. Wait, you're giving me a gift? Shouldn't it be the other way around? General Huayan's gone. Wait, why does something feel off about what we talked about? I think we strayed off topic. How did things even get to this point?
Yeah, I brought you here because the General said he had some important matters to discuss. But how in the world did Yoon Lee and I suddenly become Miss March's swordplay mentors?
Because General Huayan wants us to stick around on the Luofu for some time. But from his point of view, we're no different from all the other tourists who may leave at any time. Since the crew's actions were mentioned in the Luofu's operations log were given to the Alliance, he probably wants to see firsthand if we're as capable as the report claims, or if we're just some made-up excuse to save face. And he wants to see it for himself during the war dance, which is why he even dragged Yun Li into this. What began as a simple contest between two sword masters has now evolved into you two collaborating to mentor March.
Elder Huayan is still that tricky general who likes to give everyone a headache. My apologies. Truth be told, I invited all of you to the ceremony because I wished for you to act as my witnesses. I apologize for not disclosing this information earlier. In the coming weeks, I'll also invite all of you to a meeting with General Fei Xiao, where you may need to answer her questions and clear up any doubts she might have. So please, be prepared for the meeting.
Don't worry, General. No matter what happens, I'm prepared to stay here as the Express's witness and answer any questions.
Thank you, everyone.
General, I know there isn't much I can do to share your burden, but... As the Luofu ringmaster, I won't let anyone defeat me in the war dance.
I know.
The illustrious Merlin's Claw waiting for me? And for so long, too? It's quite an honor. It's been a while, General Fei Xiao.
It's been 30 years since we last saw each other. Right, Yukong?
Yes. Back then, you were the vanguard of the Yao Qing's Verdant Knights, and I was a pilot of the Luofu's Rainbow Orbit Fleet. Who would have thought that upon meeting again, you'd be a general, and I'd have given up flying? Really does feel like a lifetime ago. Well, I wouldn't say I haven't seen you in 30 years. After all, your great victories are announced through the Yellow Bell resonance system every day. So I'm well aware of your great feats. How's your health holding up?
Still stable, I suppose. Do you still remember the medic who saved me in battle?
That healer with the odd name and peculiar temperament. What was his name again? Was it Pichu? Or Kachio?
Jiao Cho. He's been my retainer and personal healer, delegated by the Alchemy Commission from the Xianzhou Yao Qing. Over the years, he's dedicated himself to managing my condition. It's thanks to him that I'm still in good health today. Given my background, I'm happy to have made it this far.
I'm relieved to know that you're safe and sound. Well then, since you and Elder Huayan are here, I imagine you must have received orders from the Marshal? As your friend, May I ask how the Alliance intends to punish the General of the Lawfu?
The Arbor's rebirth has frightened the elders who lurk behind the scenes. They fear the resurgence of abominations, much like what happened 30 years ago. Although the report from the Lawfu explained all the details, we don't know if the Ruin Legion really invaded, or how exactly the Stellaron Hunters and the Astral Express became involved. This puzzle has many missing pieces. As you know, the fugitive Jing Liu, who mysteriously disappeared many years ago, has resurfaced. This time, she has brought along an Outworlder and a coffin, claiming to offer the Marshal a method to fight against the Eons. The Lawfu Preceptor has also leveled accusations against Jing Yuan for neglecting the Alliance's principles. She asserts that Jing Yuan enabled the exiled Imbibitor Lunae to re-enter the Lawfu, thereby unlocking the lunarescent depths within Scale Gorge Waterscape, which in turn disrupted the Vidyadhara's dutiful watch over the Ambrosial Arbor. It is for these reasons that I have come here to the Lawfu today. Well, duty calls. Perhaps I shouldn't have mentioned all of this to an uninvolved person, but since we once fought together, I didn't want to keep you in the dark. Perhaps pretending you didn't hear any of this would be for the best.
I understand. I'm sorry. I was out of line. I know I shouldn't be defending General Jing Yuan right now, but... well, you know how I am. The Lawfu has enjoyed centuries of stability since the end of the sedition of Imbibitor Lunae, much of which can be attributed to General Jing Yuan's masterful strategizing. Unfortunately, for long-life species, enduring through the ages always culminates in a failure that undoes all previous achievements, a moment that our adversaries relish.
That's true. And that's why I'm also here for another purpose. To visit Hule.
Hule? You mean that Hule? The Borisin Warhead? The same Hule who has been imprisoned in the Shackling Prison for over 7 centuries?
The nemesis of the Foxians who will never be forgiven and shall be imprisoned until the end of the cosmos. I can't quite remember the exact wording, but yes, the very same Hule.
Usually, only emissaries from the Xianzhou Yaoqing Skyfaring Commission visit him once every century. Why do you have to visit him now, of all times?
The Foxians and the Alliance made a pact to combat the abominations, aiming to achieve justice and free their kin. That werewolf monster is to be forever imprisoned in the dark recesses of the Shackling Prison, facing unending retribution. Given the situation on the Lawfu, those on the Yaoqing are concerned about Hule's imprisonment. I'm afraid that the routine visit every century is no longer sufficient to ease their concerns. That's why I was sent here, to reassure them.
It's all bad news.
Well, not everything. There might be a silver lining. Oh, by the way, I found some clues about the thing you asked for.
Tell me more.
The Verdant Knights followed the route you mentioned and discovered the wreckage of the Whistling Flame ship. Unfortunately, there were no survivors and no cargo. However, someone had already been on the scene before we arrived.
Our people? Or someone from the IPC?
No, neither. Yukong, have you heard of a person named Ron May?
I'm still feeling sleepy. Did I oversleep? Where did March and Dan Heng go?